Peace, family. It's your boy Fonzie from BoutOnline.com, and we're back with another DOA TBM broadcast. And this time we're joined by another couple of special guests. We got T-JUDA and we got OG FLY on the line. What's good, family?
Salute.
Big up, my brothers.
No doubt, no doubt. Definitely good to have you guys on here, man. I know definitely no strangers to the Bout That Network, longtime supporters and longtime brothers that we build with on different capacities. So it's good for us to put these international builds together and keep, pushing forward, man.
100, man. This is what this is all about, man. I love the way you've been able to connect me to man overseas and collaborate minds like that. You know, them ones there, bro, man. Just to not see it from TV and music, to actually get to talk to man and get a better understanding of man. You know, them ones there from overseas like that. So yeah, man, this platform, big up, man. Big up both of you, man. Them on the screen today.
Hey, likewise. I'm following his lead, man. Likewise.
Yeah, most definitely, man. We appreciate having you brothers on there. So we're going to kick it off this one. This week, what we're going to be looking at is content creators, namely Black content creators. That's something that we all, have particularly partaken. We're all content creators in our own right. Sometimes some people say they experience a lot of difficulties as a Black content creator just in modern media, whether that be the type of content that they have to create, or sometimes just difficulties from the platforms and stuff too, having more restrictions when it comes to vocalizing the stuff they want to vocalize or putting stuff out. So I think it's going to be an interesting one to explore and stuff like that. So, you guys, as I said, content creators yourselves, you want to talk a bit about the content that you guys make?
Yeah, let the brother go first, man.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes. When it's obvious, the saying, you see people that are trying to suppress good information. And so, I think that bringing this awareness up is definitely valid because, people are out there trying to, promote a certain agenda. And so, voicing an opinion, man, and then you see the results and it's like, wait a minute now, this is not equal opportunity here. So yeah, this is definitely a concern, man. I mean, it's like people trying to submerge and hide certain people from, getting exposed to certain elements of the platform. I think that's wrong, and I think it's biased and it's a prejudice going on. So definitely, man, that had to be addressed.
Okay. And what about yourself, man, OG? I mean, how do you feel? You want to talk a bit about some of the content that you be creating?
Yeah, man, big up, man. I mean, yeah, I won't speak on my own behalf on how the numbers work on that, because I need to go a bit harder with my platform. But I got a little one called No Hold Bars. I've tried to speak about real topics, just a few things, and bring UK music on another channel. But when it comes to when you're in an agenda, them ones there, you have to, and you're playing your part. The agenda is not built for you, so definitely it's going to be an unfair platform that we're going to keep fighting on. And that's why I just give ratings to people who keep on pushing the narrative, keep on pushing the word, because it's against us. You're going to get blocked. 1 minute you can see like you put up your video, you can see that you've got 10 likes, then next minute later it's gone down to 7 likes and stuff like that. I don't understand. But yeah, there's definitely a blockage and a pause on what they want to put out there, because it's all about their agenda. But powerful people like ourselves and other people keep on fighting their agenda, and that's all that we can do, no matter what they do, and we get heard. I can't hear you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm lying.
Yeah. Sometimes we hear the word agenda come up a lot, and I mean, even myself, I've had quite a bit of difficulties, which have been, documented mainly with like Facebook, deleting and taking down accounts and pages, using unscrupulous tactics to lock me out of accounts and groups. And the ironic thing is they've left some of the accounts and groups open, but they won't let me access them, but they let other people who I added to the groups access them and kind of control them and use them for their kind of leverage and promotional benefit, but they won't let me, which, I think is kind of ridiculous. And sometimes I think it kind of goes back into where we, coming with this original title, I guess, because sometimes as black creators, the stuff that's created is then circumvented through somebody else's kind of medium or vehicle to take ownership or control of it. So you know, even with YouTube and stuff like that, we're seeing it with media and stuff. People are creating this stuff, but once you create it, you know, you upload it onto one of these platforms or the sites, and you know, they kind of then take the direction or not necessarily ownership of it. So, you know, myself, as I said, I've had difficulties with it. I do say with YouTube, I've had some issues, but I find them more communicative than like Facebook and stuff, where Facebook is damn near impossible to get through to anybody when you want to resolve something like this.
Yes, sir, man. And it's really concerning because so it's like you know, hypocritical now, fellas. We can do a homework assignment, right? So what we need to do, since you got the opposition, you know, the other people, they'll try to debate you when it's not even. It's more like you're having a conversation. To turn it into a debate. But if they want to debate, then let's go ahead, pull up facts, the statistics on a lot of the so-called black YouTubers, and see that people say, "Oh, put yourself by the bootstraps." Okay, but we on the platform. It's like we in somebody else's house, and it ain't our house, but they got rules and guidelines, so they want you to walk a certain way, talk a certain way. But you like, hey, this is who I am. I mean, if you want me to throw away my culture, then it's not right. So yeah, man, I think that we need to just pull up the statistics and we can prove this and just make it our mission to go in and say, here it is, we lay it on the table, lay it on the line, say this is what we got here. And so how could you dispute that, you know, when it's right in your face?
100.
Yes, sir.
Sir, but I can't hear you, Fonz.
Yeah, I keep muting out for some reason. I was saying in regards to you know, even yourself as a creator, have you encountered any kind of, you know, difficulties and stuff or additional difficulties, or do you think it's something that people place on themselves by saying, you know, not like I'm at a disadvantage, but you know, because some may argue that others have been able to utilize it.
Bro, you know what? Like, it's freedom of speech, so no one should be getting blocked to a certain level. You know, them ones there, like, obviously you should watch what comes out your mouth if it's just foul behavior. You know, them ones there, like, if you've got nothing but an evil mind, geography things shouldn't be cut a bit beyond there. But on the normal, if somebody's got opinion, then it should be able to come out on the net. Freedom of speech. So nobody should be getting blocked in no way possible just because he's got a conspiracy against what you're conspiring. Like, you got to remember, there's no conspiracy without a conspirer. You know, the ones there, it goes hand in hand. So everyone should be able to talk. Yeah, like at the end of the day, as the black man, even we know what we're talking about. And when we know what we're talking about, it's very powerful. You know, the ones there, because it's so powerful that it gets feared. Of course, it gets feared. And once again, it goes against the narrative. So you're going to use it, let people, it needs to go up there because they need to see who's going to follow it, who's going to like it, who's going to click on it. They need to, it's a form of being able to track who's on what. You know, the ones there, so they're going to put it up there, use it for when they want people to think they like you, and then do whatever else they want to do with it. So it's nobody should be getting blocked. They need to stop that. Me personally, when I put up a video about Freemasons, that was the first video that I saw that they really got interested in because they put some link to Freemasons about it, why they're good and this, that, the other. Put some link to there about it. Some people started following at me on my Instagram and that. And I'm like, I don't even really mess with my page. I've hardly got any followers. So if they're going to mess with little me, I can imagine what they're doing to a man like yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I met a guy. I'm not gonna mention his name or his channel, but you know, I bumped into one time, and he was telling me about some problems he was having. You know, and this was via YouTube, down to the nature of the content that he was posting. It was, I think, from a heavy religious Israelites type standpoint and stuff. So he was encountering a lot of opposition and difficulties, he was saying, with his channel and stuff. Um, I think, you know, sometimes, especially in today's day and age, we do have to bear in mind that these platforms have their own policies and guidelines, which sometimes I feel as though people don't actually read into. You know, oftentimes we sign up for these sites, we click the buttons, we click the tick, and we go through it, but we don't actually sit there and scroll through the guidelines as we would like a contract and stuff. And sometimes within those guidelines, there are things set that they don't allow or wish to have people, delve into or speak on. Sometimes, things from a heavy religious standpoint and stuff like that too, they do have their issues with. So I say that to say this, not all, sometimes things get flagged because the creator may not know, but I think as the creators, we definitely got to take extra responsibility nowadays to, know what the platform's guidelines and stuff are so we can, move and operate within the vehicle, because the platforms are just like the system in the sense it's just different routes and vehicles to move within and stuff. Looking at black creators though, you touched on the note OG, which I thought was interesting because you were speaking about just like there's a knowledge that a lot of us possess in a sense, and when that's vocalized or when that's brought into reality, it can promote a fear amongst other groups of people, which may not necessarily be the objective of it, but that fear can be stimulated in people. So often we see more of people wanting to see a more diminished, submissive, kind of temperate, like type black guy of probably jovial, he's joking around, clowning around. Sometimes people say like with wrestling and stuff, like a lot of the characters they give them, they people that are goofing around and do certain stuff as opposed to asserting any kind of strong masculine dominance. Do you think that's why we see such a, I guess, an influx of like people focusing on doing so much comedy and stuff nowadays and trying to get over it being funny and super dramatic and stuff like that?
Circus shit, yeah, no doubt. It's a circus, bro. And like, you know what? Some men are funny. You know them ones there, and you're funny. Be funny. Like I don't want to name drops. Do you mind me mentioning names of other podcasts that I might watch? That, yo, brother,
I'm still online.
yo, can Fonz hear me?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Can you hear me? Do you mind me mentioning names of other podcasts?
No, you can. I mean, feel free, man. There's no restrictions as such. If I come off the
Right.
screen, I'll probably just come out slightly, but yeah.
No, cool. It's just I couldn't hear you. Yeah, no, cool. Now I'm just saying, like, because if you're funny, then you're funny. Like I watch no, Gilly and on Walla $1 million worth of game. They're funny. Be funny. You know them ones there. It's all good. But you're right. It's like a clown show almost, and everybody, you either want to fit your part or you either want a path. You know them ones there. There's a part or there's a path. And certain man like myself and like yourselves, we're on a path. So we're not looking we're not asking for money. We're not doing it for nothing but because we got a voice and we want to speak. You know, them ones there. If you're in it for money, then you're gonna play a part and you're gonna fit the narrative. I mean, big up to everybody who does it. But and even I watch Bosco, but Bosco just comes on the camera, clowns around, and he got mad hits on the top on the strength of it. It was never really dropping no knowledge, just dissing bare people, clowning around, being funny, and he's going to definitely get more views than I ever get. Big up to him, but that goes to show the narrative. You fit the narrative, then you're good.
Yeah,
Wow, man, it's here. This is classic right here, boy.
Yeah,
Go ahead, preach.
I want you to chime in, T-JUDA, on this note, but I just wanted to make a quick point because even you just spoke about the narrative and stuff. So with that being said, do you feel as though, what do you feel the narrative is? I should say, so we can make that plain for the listeners.
I think that like society's been dumbed down, man, so much to that they think what's right is wrong is right in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, that's why I'm glad a lot of us, we got that conscious mind. We don't really watch TV, you know what I'm saying, too much. Not me. And I know y'all know that too, man. So you see what's going on with it's like they think about it when you dissect stuff, and Public Enemy them spoke about this. Shout out to Chuck D and Flavor Flav them, because they been saying this, man, like how TV program you, and then what you see, a lot of people tend to imitate it. And so all the things that our people been doing in Hollywood, the roles they've been getting. But to go back to your point, man, yeah, Fonzo, man, I think the narrative is that they trying to
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Sound like you might have got this a bit of technical difficulties and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
OG yourself. I mean, what do you think the narrative is, man?
the narrative is to dumb man's down. Like the OG was on the brother was on the right path, man. The narrative is to dumb us down, you know, and then one's there and just keep everybody in one order. Wipe out the people that's gonna be wipe out the people that's gonna be a problem to their new order, and keep the clowns, keep everyone laughing, keep everybody dancing. No one's there, and it goes a bit deeper than that. But for now, it's just I say it like that: keep everyone laughing, keep everybody dancing, while they're basically taking you out, decreasing the population.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we hear a lot about stuff like that, especially in these times. You know, globalization, different sort of events being played out, especially on a major and mainstream scale. Right there, we're gonna see if T might be adding himself back into the stream at some point. He seems to have got disconnected from the studio. So yeah, guys, you know, let us know your thoughts as well in the comments and stuff. You know, tap in with us. You know, what do you think? You know, do you have any experiences as creators yourselves? Do you think it's been harder? Do you think you've been forced to compromise in certain aspects? One thing that I feel as though when it comes to certain creators, when you're creating from a certain standpoint and you're not necessarily compromising who you are with your own cultural status. Now, here's the thing. I think when you go around, like, if you watch this like an old Hollywood movie or an American movie, and sometimes let's say you know the movie's about a businessman and the businessman is trying to get some business for his company and he's working with a top Asian client, you know, Asian being, you know, Oriental or Chinese or something. Now, when he's talking amongst his business counterparts, they're always speaking on how they have to adhere to the Asian guy's culture and stuff, even if it's just to get the deal. But they they have an acknowledgement of the culture of that person, you know, and they go around them, they, you know, they maneuver accordingly. It's just like within the UK, we have a big Muslim culture and stuff, and you know, the English people they will maneuver around that where necessary and stuff too, because they will acknowledge that culture belonging to those people, and they will treat them as such within
Mm.
the confines of it. What I feel is though sometimes where it comes to black people, people don't associate a culture with you, or the culture that they associate with you is one that's, you know, just like a stereotypical fallacy sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't put that necessary value on what you're doing. So if you don't do it yourself, I always feel as though, especially us, your backs against the wall when nobody else is going to do it for you. And we've definitely got to, you know, uphold our own culture and our values and what this stuff means. I mean, KRS One, he just recently dropped a heavy banger where he spoke about some stuff like that on the track too. You know, he went in heavy, and you know, and he spoke about that as a rapper, saying that's why you don't hear certain rappers and certain this and that, because we, you know, we kick certain levels of knowledge and stuff as well. You know, you think of a rapper named KRS One, you know, that's his name, Knowledge Reigns Supreme, you know, so KRS. So, you know, I digress. I know I'm kind of going slightly off topic with things, but I say all of that to say this, that I think when then conscious black creators are making stuff, there's less support that they get from, you know, whether it's other mediums or institutions as others will. Recently, we've seen like some of this Black Lives stuff in the UK as well. And I think I've seen like commercials with, you know, Channel 4 and some of these stations that advertise in, even YouTube to a degree, advertising some black YouTubers and stuff, but it's only certain ones, if that makes sense. It's never the conscious ones. It's just like KRS was saying with the rapping. It's still a certain, I guess, narrative, like you guys were saying, that they're trying to push too. I feel we got
You
TG
guys
back
hear
on
me?
the line too.
Yo, salute.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yes,
back
sir.
there.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, I
Good
was in
time.
them
I
in the
just finished a long-winded diatribe, but I think OG might pick up on some of the points that I just said though.
No doubt, no
No,
doubt.
no, 100 did that. But yeah, sorry, bro. Like sometimes I should stop smoking, you know, because I had the point in my head, and then I see homie come back. I was like, yeah, salute, involved. I can't even remember the last bit you said, yeah, but yeah, they will push so because it's like a spiritual war. So the conscious will, no matter what, the conscious, that's like he said, the conscious rappers, they might like they check it like this year. It's like they've always done that, no matter what. It's just gone with the timeline. So you could have my whole area, take my whole area and put them on the internet. All of them, like the 85 to 90% will download Jadakiss over Jay-Z. But you will hear Jay-Z much more on the radio than you will ever hear Jadakiss. It will be like everywhere you go that everyone would love Jay-Z over Jadakiss because of how much it gets pushed, how much it gets pushed. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not using them as in no way. It's just two names I'm using because Jay-Z's up here and Jadakiss is on a certain other level that hasn't
Yeah,
reached
yeah, I got
Jay-Z's
you.
level. Yeah, but lyrically and his music, I will hear that pump through my hood much more than I would hear Jay-Z. So that shows me that they've always pushed whoever they want to push for whatever. It's they push who they want to push for whatever reason they want to push them.
Yeah, I think YouTubers see it too. I've seen like big YouTubers like Kwame and others even say that they've encountered similar problems and stuff where once they've reached a certain point of maybe getting a certain amount of viewership and stuff, they start getting restrictions and limitations. What I find crazy is, especially on a platform like YouTube, and I ain't saying it to slate them in any effect, this will be broadcasted on YouTube at the same time. But there's other creators who are able, I see, capitalize even on other people's content, and not only that, just really boost up viewship on doing stuff like just reporting on certain communities or reporting on crimes and certain things like that, and being able to profiteer after that. And I think YouTube don't really inhibit some of those channels. So I find it strange when they inhibit like the conscious creators who are trying to teach and teach people about economic empowerment and development, and just socially to look at certain things different.
The spiritual warm up, bro.
No doubt.
Yep.
You're
Well,
scared of what? Sorry, bro.
yeah, no, I was gonna say spiritual war. What you got to say on that, T?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, man, you guys are spot on, man. So yeah, it just like trying to monetize things is one thing, which they should be doing anyway, because everyone should be able to see your content. So it's like you got someone in there that's just pushing buttons, and you got somebody like, you know what I mean? Like, and we not really talking in codes, we're not talking in so-called in another language, because we can easily do that. But why, when it's like you really can't hide the truth, man? You know what I'm saying? This has got to be addressed. And you notice that it's not really a lot of YouTubers, so-called black YouTubers, that's talking about this. And I'm pretty sure it's a few, but we got to find them and maybe reach out to them and then get more people on this platform to talk about this. Because like they say, oh well, uh, black people this, black people that, but at the same time, they're not trying to level the playing field. It's like they letting some people get ahead. Like a lot of the white ones, they be talking about birds and cats, and they getting like hundreds of thousands of views. And we are reaching out to people like culturally, we reaching out to people that basically could identify with us. And so why would they care what we're talking about? So why are they trying to block us from even reaching our own people, which makes no sense, So they gonna force people to get their own platform. That's what's probably gonna end up happening here.
Yeah, we are aware there's some platforms and stuff out there. They just aren't as big in certain aspects. I guess some would argue it's for the people to make it big, or hopefully, definitely help develop them and stuff. We encourage people to let us know any platforms and stuff in the comments and stuff. I've heard there's an Islam speak on some in the past that there's quite a few out there, and I'll see if I can drop some links. But you make some good points and stuff there too, where just the contrast you say, I guess some of the content that's out there, it's one thing people being able to create what they want, that's fine. But as you said, it's when there's restrictions and inhibitations that are being put onto people's profiles like shadow banning we're hearing of, and people's things being shown to less people and stuff like that, and putting different algorithms and blacklists and stuff like that. So I think that's where it becomes unfair, as you said, and it's an unfair playing field. Then where if people are allowed to just I know you gotta have some regulation, but create their content and stuff. Because I think as a creator, it's tough enough even to be paid off your work, which is one thing, but even to be able to thrive and exist and keep creating. So especially when the platforms and stuff are making it more difficult, or the lack of support sometimes making it more difficult, and let the record reflect. I want to say sometimes the lack of support isn't just sometimes from other people. Sometimes it's from your own people and stuff. So that's something that I think we can definitely get into too, man.
Bring it out. And it's not like we limiting ourselves to just like culturally our own people. I mean, hey, anybody that want to have a debate, come on with it. We don't care what ethnic group you is, but it is boundaries, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, so you guys talk about everything from like music, life in general. So, yeah, but a lot of people, man, it's yeah, man. And then they always want to get on the bandwagon. It don't work like that, so don't be a hypocrite. Say one thing and then you've proven evident that you're doing another. Because you got people that say, oh, well, such and such not content creators, this and that. Yeah, okay. I think some people, man, don't need to put their business out on these public platforms, which I notice a lot of these people, especially in our community, they go on these platforms, putting their air and their business out. You don't see other ethnic groups doing that. You know what I mean? So I think that needs to be addressed. That's probably a conversation for a whole nother day. But hey, we putting it out there.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. And I think some of the stuff people do, whether it's off media, emotion, whether it's to put people on blast, you got people, crying online, putting stuff up when they break up, and my wife cheated on me, and this, that, and the third, and I'm a killer, and people going crazy with the internet.
People are
Yeah,
crazy,
it's
bro.
crazy. You got to be
That-
careful with it too, right?
People are crazy, bro. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you're right. From the girl breaking up to man doing crimes on the internet. The ones there, and we're from the era. Man's trying to stay away from the camera. The ones there. Man, didn't want none of that on the camera. Are you crazy? Like
Yeah,
to me, that's crazy, and
Yes,
it's an
sir.
understanding that's a mindset that I could never get into. The ones there of like how you would want to put everything that you've got going on the camera. The ones there it's just an issue. But the thing is with the brother T said before, yeah, all we do is come on and we tell the truth. There's no narrative to what we're doing. That's why we need to slap every YouTube face boss in the face, and they can block me if they want to. Slap all of them in the faces for the simple fact that what they don't like, who deems them to not like that? Because we're just questioning you. You can put like there was some rapper who used to put a mask over his face and talk about raping girls, this, that, the other. Them ones there, bare mad, killing people in the night and slitting their throats and that. And he didn't get censored. He got all his videos up there till they caught who he was. He was an actor actually on a show and whatever. But you wanna censor a man who's just questioning you, who's just saying you're saying this and I'm saying maybe not, maybe this, maybe that, and you want to censor man on the strength of that. So there ain't even no anyone who's coming up there and they haven't got the knowledge. Yeah, you're not coming up there saying nothing crazy. You don't need the knowledge. You know right, you know wrong, you know profanity, you know how to speak, you know how to carry yourself, you know what to say and not what to say. So all this extra bullshit talking about all these flagship words and that the whatever they've got going around the world, them ones there, the whole that's like who's to say that you're not allowed to question it? Why not? It's not a
yeah,
bad word. Why not?
you're right. I think you make a cool point where it's like, where's that line drawn, or what's the demarcation, where they decide that, because there's a fine line between censorship and you know I remember it could have been, it was maybe last year, and there was a report that Mark Zuckerberg had deleted Donald Trump off Facebook, and there was some other stuff, and a lot of people celebrated. And they said, "Hey, they, yeah, and I said, wait, I said, they can do that to Donald Trump, they could do that to anybody. I mean, a lot of people lobbied against them erroneously taking the minister off social media and stuff like that too, you know. So it's sort of like when it comes to censorship, as I say, it's a fine line sometimes, and I stand by that accord where it's like I can't argue for the freedom of speech of one, but disallow it with another. So because you know that would be hypocritical. So I feel as though you know we do have to be careful a lot of the times because I think some of these mediums are skating into dangerous territories where they wield such power and information of people's, you know, data and stuff like that, which is one thing. But the second thing is then you know, the ability to censor people and stuff or ban them from their platforms. You know, we've seen in the UK, Wiley, which we won't go too much into it, but he was banned from some platforms for some allegations and stuff. And I believe he's really recently released a song called Anti-Systemic, which is a good play on words and play on the situation.
No doubt.
But you know, I digress. We've seen, you know, Boosie has been banned off social media and stuff like that before, and it's like, have they really said anything that's that bad or dramatic? When we've seen like, you know, murderers and you know, pedophiles and people like that are you know using these mediums to communicate and do stuff at the same time, and there hasn't been such a I think come down on some of these other people as much because maybe they do things in code or something. I don't know, man.
Bro, see what gets me mad and what I
Facts.
don't understand. Yeah, sorry, bro. Yeah, like they can, like these pedophiles and that can connect on the net through this dark web thing, which makes no sense. If they own the web, this should be able to get shut down. You know, them ones there. It's like if they can connect on a dark web and they can't shut it down, then isn't there no way us righteous man can connect on some kind of web that they can't shut down and all link together and basically have our own website then that we don't need to hide because it's not in dark, it's only real. But if they can't shut down the dark web, we must be able to make a web that they can't shut
It's
down.
crazy because even they call that the dark web, but I don't know really nothing about this stuff. I just heard certain types of people talk about it or whatever. But
Trust me.
let the record, you know. But it's crazy because even when you saying we should have a web, I'm thinking the black web. But you know, but yeah, they got the dark web. But yeah, I think it's funny how there's such a play on you know, words and stuff. Oftentimes, we know black can signify dominance, but we also know it can signify like darkness, and you know, then at the same time with darkness, we know that could be the unconscious of things being hidden and behind the scenes and stuff. So we get the association then attaching dark web in that aspect. But yeah, not to go too off topic because I don't think that's something that there's too much maybe black creators involved in the dark web. But I know there's a lot of black creators involved in some of the initial algorithms that create some of these sites and stuff like that too, and you know, doing a lot of tech stuff as well at a different high level in terms of software development and stuff like that too. So I tip my cap to those guys. But you know, I think with the content creators that we have nowadays, I'm seeing a good positive surgence of even with YouTube and stuff, people getting into creating and stuff. But what I've realized within that is some of us, it's sort of like the same story where we're technologically late because there's certain other white creators, and you know, not that this is a race or anything, but they've already been, you know, on YouTube and do stuff like that for years, and then now you see some of these black creators just coming on YouTube and then they squabbling with each other because they're trying to be the number one on YouTube and all this stuff, and it's like they're at a
True.
late stage of even the development in the technology and like YouTube and some of these platforms, because some of these guys, as you said, they're onto other platforms like the dark web and this, that, and the third, and all the, you know, extra stuff that some of our people are still behind them with the platform. So that was just a point that I thought was interesting.
Facts.
Yeah, bro, I feel you. Yeah, because yeah, we're definitely behind them because they've been in tune to everything before we're in tune to it. You know what I mean? Even if they've got a black brother in the background building something, that's just a one black brother. We don't know nothing about it. Everything that they do, like they're 20, 30, 40 years ahead of us. You know, no one's there. And it's just like if you took it, even out here, America itself is like 20 years ahead of UK. I tell you that from now in forwardness, like what England started doing, even way the girls started moving, things started getting more nastier, and like America was doing that 20 years before us. You know, the ones there. So that's how things move. It don't matter. You're always gonna. That's been from Stone Age times, brother. You know, them ones there. Black man built the light bulb. Black man
Facts.
built Big Ben. They just take these things. Black man created hip hop, but we don't sell it. We're not the ones that's super rich of it, though. Black man's dancing. Imagine that. But they
I
said
say
Miley
that every day,
Cyrus.
especially with hip hop, because I'm a
Yeah,
product of hip
they're
hop, and
so brother. Yeah,
I'm a hip
brother.
hop
They
baby.
said
So
Miley Cyrus. I think this was a big disrespect, bro. They said Miley Cyrus invented twerking. Don't get me mad. I was listening to No Limit in the early 90s talking about twerk something, shake
New
something, twerk.
Ain't
Orleans,
that something?
you
See
know,
that?
New Orleans, Juvenile, and them. The crazy thing, and this is what some people say, I guess, not just with even with the creation of stuff, it's like, you know, recently we've seen a lot in the headlines about blackfishing and things of that nature because people feel as though some of the stuff we do from a natural standpoint is demonized, and they call it ratchet and this and that when you do it, they demonize it, and when they
But I
do it,
salute blackfishing.
it becomes
Blackfish all day.
it becomes
That's right.
cool. What'd you say, bro?
I salute blackfishing. Blackfish all day. Promote us. Because you've been trying to hate on us and sit on us for years, and then you got your white girls trying to look like us and trying to darken up and dance like us and give attitude and fatten up their lips and fatten up their booties and everything. Promote it. Keep on blackfishing. Yeah.
Bring it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I
Straight up.
mean, it's definitely a controversial one. I can't say I get your standpoint. You know, sometimes like I hear guys where they say, you know, with their connection with the women and stuff like that too. But I feel as though, I mean, people could do whatever they want. To be honest, we live in a time where I guess if somebody wants to identify as a tree and they wanted to, get some branches surgically, implanted into the side of their head, a couple of twigs, and and they want to walk walk around and call themselves Twiggy, like that would be cool. So, if we live in a time like that, I guess we can't be splitting too much hairs about how much makeup somebody wants to put on and how much they want to shade themselves or this, that, and the third. However, like back to the sort of creative thing, I do feel, and it's not something I could speak of from the standpoint of like the sisters, but I've heard some of the sisters even say that because like when you mentioned the twerking and like the look and certain things, they say it's like if they went to school or went certain places with a certain look, they're frowned upon or they're demonized, and others are able to do it and be glorified while doing it. So it's not that they're trying to trash them for doing it, but they're like, get the F out of here with that thing kind of thing, because it's like, you're trying to put these people on a pedestal for doing it, but trash us for doing it, you know what I mean? So
That's our struggle,
Facts.
bro.
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
sir.
That's our
And you
struggle.
notice, a lot of these people, man. It's like now I noticed too, man. Like how they try to like they try to put people against each other too. Like they try to turn the men against the women and the women against the men. See, we can't roll like that no more, man, because these people good at divide and conquer too, man. And like I say, I don't want to go off topic, man, but that's real though, man. So yeah, man, I think what we talking about here right now, they could try to ignore it, they could try to patch it up or hide it. Hey, they can't stop the truth. They can't stop privacy. You know what I'm saying? This gonna come out because there's so much corruption, man. So it's like at a boiling point right now. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, Lord. Exactly, and that's definitely not off topic. It's divide and conquer. That's what it's all about. That's been the age-old war. They want to divide and conquer. They just find new ways to do it. You know them ones there. They've done put the wars out there, the evil and the hate. That's not working. So get everybody to like everything, can it? You know them ones there. The New World Order. They've been saying it from the new millennium, 1990 to now. New World Order. So it is divide and conquer, and like everybody's got to just understand that this has been the old fight. So let's not all the big up everybody. Let's not argue too much about what they don't do. Let's just focus on what we do. Let's just go ham now. Let's focus on what we do.
Bring it out, man.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, yeah.
classic right here, y'all.
Yeah, no, definitely. But T man, I don't get nobody on the podcast that ain't a valuable speaker, man.
No doubt, man. Because that's trip y'all how these people try to do, man. They try to play dub, but you know what? They can play dub all they want. It's like trying to sweep trash up under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Hey, somebody gonna find that trash sooner or later. The trash still gonna be there. So no matter what they try to do, man, they cannot stop. You know what I'm saying? These foot soldiers, man. You know what I
Exactly, bro.
mean?
That's exactly it. They tried to sweep us under the rug. Like you say, they've been like the first plan of genocide was to kill off all the powerful black people. That was the first plan of genocide. But lock us up. They locked so many of us up, killed so many over the years. But there's so many of us though. You know, them
No
ones there,
doubt.
there's still so many of us. How they must be thinking, how is there still so many of them? You know, them ones there till they can't even do that no more. They have to make everyone blend together and become one, brother. You know, them ones there. Let me just quickly say something, and I don't know if you can clock onto the narrative, yeah. But there's an advert, yeah, and there's a black fella, yeah, and he's with a white woman, yeah, and they and the advert is let me to the end part at the advert, the Donny he's in home and he's thinking he smelled the smell and he's this yes the taste of home and it's macaroni cheese made in a packet with cheese sauce like the very white way, you know them ones there, but there like what the narrative tries to show you, yeah, it's cool, we're accepting you as long as you move like us. You know them ones there, we're accepting you as long as you move like us, as long as we believe what you tell you, as long as you vote how we want you to vote, then you're good. They're putting so much black people on TV, but they're all moving a certain way. They don't move like me and you. Their hats ain't like this. You know them ones there, you won't see them in nothing like this. They'll have the shirt underneath the jumper, eating macaroni cheese from a packet in cream sauce with their white lady. But at the same time, black people will be sitting there thinking, oh, wow, look, they're putting black people on TV now. Great. But just check the narrative. It's
But
always been like that. Never going to change.
it's a great point, and I think that coincides with what I was saying earlier about sometimes when we see these, promotional campaigns where they use select, and I use that word objectively, select people to, be seen as they're being inclusive, but some of those people are complicit in certain aspects of I don't want to hold them up and say they got to be a certain type of person or individual, but they complicit in certain aspects of what they represent culturally. And, I do think it's a great point that you make with, I haven't seen that particular commercial, but I do know, especially nowadays, we see a huge emphasis in the media on, pushing, visually interracial couplings and stuff like that, which is a whole different bag and conversation within itself, which we've explored on this channel. We'd encourage you guys to check out some of the DOA episodes on that. We had Brandon Smith from Hood Therapy, Adino Spumoni, and a few other guests and stuff where we sort of dissected some of that topic. But anyway, back to the subject matter of this, I feel as though just similar to what you're saying, there is a lot of visual push for that in the media in a sense where it's sort of okay, yes, you can be more accepted in that relationship now, whereas some of these relationships were very volatile going back the past 50 to 100 or so years, and some still very volatile now, but as you said, sometimes less volatile when you're willing to play a certain role or dynamic within the paradigm that exists. And one thing I found very dope was the movie Get Out. I think great work from Jordan Peele. I mean, the irony is, I do believe he's actually married to a white woman and stuff himself, which we do see in Hollywood and stuff. A lot of the actors and stuff like that too. But I digress. That movie sort of encapsulated and showed the example of that because it used the visual depiction of the black guy and he had his sort of reservations, and the woman, she knew the reservations existed. She wasn't coy about it, and she was trying to convince him otherwise. We're different, it's not like that, I'm different. And he was sort of going by his his better, what he thought was his better judgment, and then we know how the movie played out by the end of it. So, what I found very interesting with that is at one point I was with a friend of mine, and he was with his wife, who happens to be white, and he's a black guy, and they had never watched the movie before, and they was like, "Oh, let's watch this movie," and I was kind of like, "Gosh, for fuck's sake, I know what this movie's about." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I'm there and I'm watching it with them, and she's actually got another friend of hers who's there with her, who's actually white too. So it's like two black guys, two white women. We're watching this movie. Now they don't know what's going on, so they're just watching it. I've already seen it, so I know, the narrative and the directive and stuff of where it's going, but I'm not ruining it or saying nothing. I'm just watching it nonetheless. Now I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, but when it gets to the end point, basically the family they drug this black guy, they hypnotize him, they're trying to kill him and steal his organs and his body parts and stuff, and they put him through all this psychological torture and hell. And when he's trying to escape at the end, he kills a couple of them. Now, the moment he killed one of them in the movie and he started winding out, the woman was like, "Oh, he's the animal now."
Crazy, dog.
And I was like, wow, because I was like, all the stuff that they was putting him through, that they just sat through and didn't say anything, that he was supposed to just, take on that shit. And now he defended himself fighting back. And they was like really kind of like, they weren't sure how to take the movie, especially when he was fighting back and kind of killing him at the end. They was like, they did not like that shit one bit. So,
it makes you wonder, like, who, what's their definition of an animal, huh?
yeah.
Exactly. But that's it, you know what I mean? That's what our life's been all our life, just fighting back, and they got the pen. So as soon as they write the pen, they got the pen. So as soon as we fight back because of being oppressed so long, we're animals. They got the pen.
At this point, man, who really cares what they say? I mean, let's be honest. People like that, man, you gotta look at the history and the culture, the way they come from. So, they're not gonna saying their laws and the way they do things, the way our culture is just two different worlds, man. And so, in the Most High says it in the scriptures that we should be separated from nations because it's just not gonna work. I mean, I think that integration was really, really one of the worst things that ever happened. But everything is for a time and a season. It was for the glory, God's glory. So once you read the scriptures, then that will bring you to some kind of closure, like, okay, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of information, a lot of research we got to do, man. We just really, really touching the surface,
Yeah, no, definitely. I know we could go into so many different dynamics, and I won't go too heavy on this. I do feel to a huge extent, the modus operandi that was pitched within the concept of integration didn't really serve. But it may have served the purpose for some in other mediums more than it did for others. We know that there's been many that spoke over the years about separation, including the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, also included the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who I know a lot of people speak on his I Have a Dream speech, but they don't speak on the last speech that he made, which is when he was calling for the boycotts and stuff. And he said, we don't need no Molotov cocktails. We don't need no. He said, we just got to go into these stores and and tell these people, you ain't treating God's children right. He was laying it down, man. And, so peace to Dr. Martin Luther King, because a lot of people, they don't, acknowledge that he died as a revolutionary thinker and stuff. And at the same time, they try and dispel his legacy with, trumped up claims that he, held black people back and stuff, which, I don't believe so.
And what source that came from? Who put that narrative out there, though? So we got to always open the layers up. So they're like, okay, so they make these accusations. So where's the source? You know what I'm saying? So, right.
Yeah, they own what comes out there. So whatever they want to get out there to push the narrative, the one's there, because you just taught me something, bro. Believe that you just taught me something. And I got to go
No
and
doubt.
check that speech because I was never, and I'm not scared to say anything because I am who I am. So I was never a Martin Luther King fan, bless his soul, for the simple fact of the I have a dream speech, and he's talking about everyone has to just come together and play in the field. I was like, I'm not letting a man slap me in my face and turn the other cheek.
Yeah,
That just didn't sit well with man, and that would never have sat well with man. Hearing what you just said, I didn't really know about that last speech. I'm disappointed in myself, but I didn't, and I
yeah. I
need to
mean,
go.
it's not your fault, brother, man, because they used that speech, his first speech against him, which was only him exemplifying a level of character that may be beyond others, but it's still a high level of character. Some people, whether they're religious or denominational or not, even most of the Abrahamic religions, which we would say Judaism, Islam, Christianity, the biggest ones we see now, all have some kind of attestation to Jesus or that person or figure who is such an exalted being that would turn the other cheek in certain aspects. But it's a high level of character that I think Dr. Martin Luther King was explaining. Then, like we think of Selassie and certain figures that we say that our people have exalted, Marcus Garvey on certain characteristic levels. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Clarence 13X, and the thing is, they use that speech for their own agenda to pitch a false narrative, to suit the agenda of, the false sort of agenda. Because when you create a false, I think, playing field of making people think they're accepted, they put their defense down, sort of thing. So we're not living in a time that was as hostile where people was in acknowledgement that there was an open enemy against them.
Yeah,
So you can sort of picture, you can give people things what society does, with the materialism and
Hmm.
jobs and rank and status, and like you spoke, which I'd encourage people to check out on your channel, was the other day about just day and night and seasonal things, and but you was getting into some heavy metaphysics even within that, within times and just nature, and instead of that and people being able to be in tune with that, being forced to live around a false 24-hour clock system, especially for the working man's benefit.
yeah,
Well
definitely.
said, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. A lot of delusional people out there too, y'all. You notice, like, take a, check this out now. Now it's like we living in this system, which you go back into the history. I think people need to do they. I don't know why a lot of our people not teaching their younger kids. It's like they tell them to get a job and go to work. Now we at a time to now we see like the seals is being opened up, and I'm probably getting, I'm getting a little deep in the surface, but long story short, man, how to go into business for yourself. But the problem is when we living in a system that really wasn't designed for us, so we got to come to reality. Like, look, we don't have like we should want our own land. We should actually want our own country because as long as we live in a system that's built for them, it's gonna be hard for us to teach our kids build generational wealth, like Master P was saying. Because man, these people, man, they got the military right now, they got the power. We know this, and so uh, our own military, and but the Most High is gonna have to do that. So no man can. One of scripture said, "No man can buy them or whatever save them." We got to let the supernatural do that. Of course, we got to put in the work by spreading this information because these people, man, like he said, they like years ahead of us, man. So now that we are starting to gain this wisdom from the supernatural realm, and they go tell us how to go about this, man. And so yeah, man. Wow, you guys, man, it's man.
Yeah, it's been a dope build, man. And even speaking of supernatural, just to kind of put a button on it and draw things back into, I guess the whole concept is, I want to tip my cap off, I should say, and salute to just some of the creators out there, because we got a whole wide abundance of super creators that I think in their own right should be categorized as geniuses. Some of the stuff people do, I want to shout out, Freedom Unique, the Katsa. I mean, even some of the freestyles he doing at the minute, to what he has to go through to even record them and put together with, graphics and stuff. And we're dealing with a lot of times with our people, we're talking, you're not getting help and support. And we ain't saying it like we're crying for it from other people. Sometimes you ain't even getting it from your own people. because they just got their hand out looking for a meal ticket, or everybody want to eat from the the plate when everything's all cooked, but they don't want to sit down and put the stuff together, or they want to go out and work for somebody else and use those skills, but those same skills they wouldn't use it within their own community for their own people and their own benefits. So there's a lot of issues that we got to face like that. But I say that even within this, there's people that create such magnificent and wonderful things with their own, just drive, creativity, prowess. They don't have any help. Some of them ain't ever studied no courses or nothing like that. They've just been able to, really home into something and tap into that creative level. So I just want to shout out all the dope creatives out there, man.
Salute.
Definitely, man. Big them up, man. For real,
I mean,
man.
that includes y'all, of course,
Yeah, not for real. Salute, yeah. Man just does this thing raw body. Never looked into anything. Just jumped on it and started doing the thing. The ones there. So yeah, big up to everyone, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So definitely, you guys, listeners out there, let us know your thoughts. I mean, as creatives or just as supporters of creatives, we'd encourage you guys to support us on boutonline.com. You can find links to our Patreon, other forms of social media. I'm not gonna sit here and plug all of that sort of stuff, but definitely encourage you to check out OG Fly stuff, which is important. I was gonna say too. So do you want to plug your channels and stuff, bro?
Yeah, quickly, respect for that, bro. Check my channel, OG Fly. I got a page, no hold bards, real topics. Holler at me. That started a page called Rant of the Day when the big homie Fonz was talking about the seasons and the weather in the morning. That's on there. And I got another one called All Day UK when I'm just promoting UK music, really, UK music, underground, unsigned artists and that. Yeah, man, that's me, OG Fly YouTube. Check me out, man.
Okay, no doubt, man. And T-JUDA, they can find you with the medicine and stuff, man. And
Yeah,
you
they
definitely
know
be tapped
where they
in.
find you at, they gonna find me at,
Yeah, I was just gonna say you be tapped in quite frequent and stuff as well, especially on the DOA TBM. So definitely, peace to the family. We want to encourage all the creators, once I said, to stay creative, stay dope. Don't let nobody break your spirit and stuff as well, which I think is an important one. You know what? I think before we rock out, let me. Oh shit! I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to play this for you guys. I was gonna see if I could have played something for you guys before we rocked out. It would
Hey,
have been.
the universe getting this here, man. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, it's deep.
Heard me.
Yes, sir.
yeah. Let me see if I got something. Hold up. Yeah, so what other creators you guys be checking out on YouTube and stuff that you think's dope? While I find this record real quick.
This one guy pretty interesting. Rap the news. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people might not agree with everything, but I tell you what, man, this guy is very interesting. And it's a couple other brothers, man. You got some of them Hebrew Israelites, and we know that how they gonna, and I'm not, talking in code a little bit, but if you know what ED, you know what I'm saying, EDO, you know what I'm saying, you already know they got the MITE, you know what I'm saying, so you know how that goes. So yeah, man, but them brothers, man, some of them they bring it out. They said some of them camps, man, we know, Edom, they trying to bring in, but you can't infiltrate a culture. So this is bigger than they roll different than them other groups. They bring out the truth. So that's what they talking about. But yeah, man, them guys, man, they spitting that real dialogue out there. Anybody they try to dispute and say, oh, hey, they cutting them with some scriptures. Straight
Yeah,
up.
rap the news got some stuff. I want to shout out Kwame. I want to shout out from the hip hop side, Yuck Mouth, Ghetto D, Willie D, Ghetto Boys, I should say, Willie D, Ghetto Boys Reloaded, Big Court, Gangster Chronicles, Hassan Kamba,
Yeah.
Gully TV, Star, everybody doing their thing. There's so many, dope podcasts and stuff out there at the minute. And for the
Kwame,
creators,
Kwame Brown too now.
yeah, I think I said Kwame, man.
Oh,
Kwame,
okay, word up.
so Let's see if I can play this, and we're gonna rock out at this, man. Shit, you guys can hear that?
Yeah.
This one's so groovy, baby.
Yo, what's up? Shout out to my dog, Neutron, Alfonso.
How we gonna leave it? Don't already know. Laid it down, different places, so many grand, couldn't believe it. Shit. Had to seen it to believe it, had to walk it to do it. You know how I do, kid. Shit. About leaving a legacy, duh, already know. Got a ghetto recipe, the energy, shit. Representing worldwide, trap mob, flag high. Shit, M.O.B., that be the code I live by. Representing every day, already know. Mash hard, go all out for the pay, but shit, can't put that first all the time. Cause we know that the most high, gotta keep that faith close by. Shit, what,
People, man, waste your time every single day.
Laying
So
it
that
down,
minute that they waste, that 60 seconds that they waste of your time, you know what I'm saying? And that whatever hour, every second is precious, man. You can't get time back. That's something you can't get back. You can't get time back. You know what I'm saying?
Leave them on the back block, you didn't already know, 2-2's got a dash, that spot hot, gotta move back, to the back block, to the trap spot, you didn't already know, shit, trap M.O.B. got the game on hot. They wanna peek and watch, something like the observation, wanna track and trace them, you didn't already know, some wanna step up, but can't really replace them, when the OG step on the scene, looking so clean, everybody look around, damn, that shit go bling, black diamond nights on the peaks, technique so sweet, representing for the streets, can't be beat, M.O.B., representing, that's the code they will live by. Shit.
People turn their back on us,
So
that makes us stronger. That give us the strength to want to go harder, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, yeah, some people want to give up, but don't give up, man. Don't give up. Don't let these motherfuckers, man, steal your shine. Don't let them steal your enlightenment, man. You go hard, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what? The Most I got a plan. And everybody ain't going where you going.
I'm serving a watch, yeah. Say the streets is watching, already know. Got the peeps, they clocking, shit. Some peeps, they jocking. We can't be stopped, me. Shit. Like the No Limit Boys back in the game. So TRU like Corey Miller, man. Gotta free the game. Shit.
Can't get time back, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm improvised right now. I didn't write this down. This ain't no rehearsal. This is straight up, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I improvised. I came up with this out the blue. And that's kind of pressure people like us is under. We under pressure to come up with stuff. We manifest things. We let it happen.
Yeah, bro. You know,
No doubt, man.
Who's that?
T-JUDA, man, on the hook, man.
Oh yeah. But whose track is that though?
Yeah, it's unreleased.
Oh, that was you, man, together, yeah?
Yeah.
You didn't even warn me, bro. You didn't even tell me. I didn't even know who that was.
No, you know what, bro? I don't have that track there, but you know the crazy thing is, which you know, after the conversation we just had, if you listen to the track, like everything I was saying, even I was talking about OG, this, that, it's like everything was in the track. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta play.
Yeah,
play that track. That's why I was looking for that track, and it's like,
bro, that's fire, bro. That was fire. I didn't even know that is fire. I'm bouncing, bro. That's fire,
man. You know,
and, you know, bro, that was real, man. And you know, like sometimes like the beats they skip out, but you can always work with that. But the message, man, you on point with everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's fire, bro. That was, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys, man. So we got some music coming, and I know, you know, in the future, me and OG Katza, we got some stuff we're gonna be cooking up on this international player vibe and stuff too, man. So we want to say shouts out to the fam, shouts out to Floss. You know, everybody keep it groovy, and we'll tap you out the next time.
No doubt, man. No doubt, bro.